Okay, so you've heard, I don't know, thousands of pitches on Shark Tank at this point? Is it thousands, you would say?
On Shark Tank, yeah, thousands.
And
sure.
Probably hundreds of thousands outside of Shark Tank.
I get an average of 70 a day.
So when you're deciding whether to invest or even before that, like engage with an entrepreneur, how important is the person and their background story to you deciding, I'm interested, I'm leaning in?
It's everything. So if I'm going to deal with somebody, whether it is an employee or whether it is a business, what's the story?
When I was 14, I started a video production company that would eventually evolve into what was called EVC, Event Video Company, because we filmed youth sporting events all across the United States. We would go to events and we'd send camera crews as well as sales reps to take orders from parents and coaches and scouts that wanted a copy of the video. So in order to pull this off and to have crews in different cities on the same weekend, I had to put a lot of emphasis into training and standard operating procedures and showing up and feeling and looking and acting like we were all part of the same company. Fast forward, I sold the business and started a little consulting company to work with other small businesses on packaging up their operating procedures, on packaging up their structure and their systems. And as I was doing that work, I started delivering manuals, operations manuals, and what I'd start to call business playbooks over and over and over again. I wanted to differentiate my consulting business a little, so I created a prototype software, and I called it Trainual. Train for the experience of training, and manual for the written content. Trainual has evolved into, of course, a software company and the business that it is today. But the reason I'm telling you this story is because that story is the exact same story that we tell all of the new people that work at Trainual when they start at Trainual. And that story tells you a little glimpse of why this business exists. What was the history and the aha moment that led to this business being created? And that first story, that first aha, is something that can differentiate you among your competitors and something that starts to build culture with the environment, with your employees. So telling your company's story is a super powerful piece of your business playbook. And this is just the beginning.
When people really are pitching the best pitch on Shark Tank or in person, it's like an infomercial. Hey, has this ever happened to you? And you said to yourself, and everybody's saying, oh, there's got to be a better way. Well, I'm Daymond John, and I used to do this and this and that, and I got frustrated just like you, and guess what I did? I came up with a better way. And you are validating the story, right? People want to hear stories. They want to hear why they do it. You know, when I create a company, I have to ask myself a couple of questions. Why this, why now, and why me? Pretty simple. Why this, why now, and why me? And my story is the why.
So your company's profile contains stories like the ones I just told, but it also contains where you're going. It contains your mission and your vision. Why do you exist as a business? Are there certain milestones that you're setting out to achieve? And then today, what are your core values? What are the filters that you use for decision making? Your company profile is really a mix of stories and insights about your past, present, and future to get everyone on the same page about your culture. And then a piece of this is similar to a business plan or a pitch deck. You want to teach all of your employees about your target customer. Who are you going after to serve in your business? You want to teach them about your products and your services. You want to teach them about your pricing, your competitors, your industry, the market that you're in. And then also a quick glimpse at start to finish how your business works. Really what you're doing is painting a picture for your new employees that gives them all the context they need for what this business does. Why does it exist? Where has it been? And where is it going? People can work anywhere these days. And so the reason people choose to work at your business is because they're aligned with your company's mission or your vision or the customer that you're serving, and they want to be bought into that. And so telling this story and teaching new people about your business is a chance for you to really get that buy-in. You know, they opted into your business once when they took the job, but as they go through training and orientation, you want them to double opt in and to be glad that this is a company that they've chosen for this next stage of their career. This is your opportunity to tell that story and to get that buy-in.
So let's say you go into an organization, you're in sales, right? They may not tell you the story. They may say, here's your numbers. Hit these numbers. You call these 50 people or you do this. And you may have forgotten when you call those people, you're like, this started off as a dream of somebody to do this and this. And the reason why I'm calling you is because I know that you believe in that dream too. And whether you do business with me or not, I want to share that dream with you. I hope that you're part of it. But if you call and in your mind, you're like, I got to hit my numbers. Listen, I got to move a couple of shirts here. What's your pricing right now? All right, I got them 25% off. But that's not the story anymore. And we, even being normal human beings, sometimes we forget the story because we're so busy with the end result that we need at the moment. But if you were reinforcing the story, that's totally different.
I want you to imagine that we're out to coffee. We sat down across from each other and it's our first time meeting. Probably the first question I'm going to ask you is, so tell me about your business. How'd your business start? Why does your business exist? And I'm looking for things that I can relate to from my life, other businesses or competitors or industries that I'm familiar with, because I'm trying to connect to you. The story about why your business exists and how it came to be is helping you connect with your employees. It's helping bring your team together. It helps them kind of walk through the virtual museum of history of your business and learn about the past of your business so that they understand as well where you're going. Back when you first started your business, think about the holidays, meeting up with family members or friends, and they ask you, hey, so what are you up to now? You told them probably pretty vibrantly what this new business was that you had created or this new company that you had joined is. You're excited about it. You had passion for it. So what we want to do here is capture that passion and excitement through your storytelling and your documentation and your history of the business so that every new person that joins your company can feel that same sense of excitement. They can start to buy in and feel like, okay, I'm part of this and I get why it exists. If you're sitting there and thinking, I don't know what my company story is, I don't think I have an exciting story. Well, you're wrong. If you've started a business or you've joined a business as a leader or a co-founder, there is definitely a story there that people are intrigued by. They know that this business hasn't just existed forever. Everybody wants to think back to that Jerry Maguire moment of carrying the goldfish out or whatever that moment was in your business that led to it being created. Registering the domain name, getting your first office, getting your first customer as a side gig. There was something that was the impetus to this business being created. And you want to explain that story to tell people this is how we got going. Maybe here's some of the pivots we've had along the way. And this is the business profile as it exists today.
People see me up on Shark Tank and they think that I have it all figured out. I do not have it all figured out. And that is why you want to put the big mission out and share it with your community, because sometimes you go, boss, we're not going to get to that mission the way you're looking at it. I understand your big vision, but that path is not always clear, and that path will need adjustments, right? A true entrepreneur acts, learns, and then they repeat. We're human. This is the real world. And after what has happened the last 5, 10, or 20 years, the only thing that's going to stay the same is that change is inevitable.
If you have a vision, some point in the future that you're marching toward, it's kind of like if you were in a big field and you had a tree and you were walking toward that tree and you can look down, but if you look up every few steps, you're basically going to get to the tree. Whereas if you're just heads down in the field, you have very little chance of actually getting to that place.